Welcome to the midnight shift. The shift nobody wants. The shift where the fluorescent lights buzz like they know your secrets, the phones ring before anyone touches them, and the break room vending machine only sells expired gum, black licorice, and one bag of chips labeled regret. I work alone in a private office 3 levels below infernal human resources, which sounds important. It is not. It means I get 1 desk, 1 headset, 2 monitors, a cursed filing cabinet, and absolutely no witnesses when someone calls sobbing because the consequences they ordered finally shipped. My name does not matter, not to the callers. To them, I am just the voice on the other end of the line. The one who says, unfortunately, your request has been denied. The one who tells them the problem is not Mercury retrograde, their childhood, or the woman who read their tarot on TikTok. It is them, usually violently them. I used to be captain of the cheer squad, which honestly was excellent job training, smiling while suffering, performing enthusiasm, judging people in groups, pretending the team had spirit when half of them were crying in the bathroom. Customer service was really just the natural next step. The only difference is now the uniforms are scorched, the pom-poms are gone, and the crowd screaming in the distance is not at a football game. My shift started at midnight. At 12:01, the printer coughed up a blank page that said, good luck. At 12:02, the coffee machine started steaming without water. At 12:03, line 1 rang. I looked at the phone. The phone looked back. I put on my headset because in hell, ignoring the problem does not make it go away. It makes it leave a voicemail. Hell's customer service. This is your assigned suffering representative. How may I redirect your poor choices? You want to reopen a relationship? Okay. And was the relationship closed due to death, distance, personal growth, or repeated disrespect performed in cargo shorts? Repeated disrespect, of course. And you would like us to return the ex-boyfriend to your life because you miss him. Ma'am, I'm gonna stop you right there. That is not a reason. That is a symptom. Let me pull up the file. Okay, I'm seeing 3 breakups, 7 apology paragraphs, 1 fake therapy vocabulary phase, and a handwritten note that says he just needs time. He did not need time. He needed accountability and possibly a chair thrown in his direction, but unfortunately legal says I have to say that hypothetically. Now, according to the archive, this man told you he wasn't ready for a serious relationship, then immediately became serious with someone whose Instagram bio says healed but dangerous. That is not a timing issue. That is a clearance rack betrayal. And I am also seeing here that he came back during the holidays. Classic. They always return when the air gets cold and nobody else wants to listen to them explain crypto. You accepted the call. You answered, hey stranger. Ma'am, hey stranger is not a greeting. It is a gateway drug. Please hold while I transfer your dignity back to the body. No, I cannot expedite the process. Your dignity has been in recovery since March. Now, let me check if this ex is eligible for return. No. The system says he is defective, emotionally recalled, and currently classified as a lesson wearing sneakers. Also, you cannot return to him because your peace has already been upgraded. Yes, I know peace feels boring at first. That is because chaos used to flirt with you. But boring is not a curse. Boring is your nervous system realizing no one is about to ruin dinner. So your request to reopen this relationship has been denied. A reason for denial. You are not lonely. You are detoxing. Please drink water, block responsibly, and stop romanticizing men who only become articulate when they are losing access. Thank you for calling Hell's customer service. Your healing may be monitored for quality assurance. I stamped the file denied and slid it into the drawer labeled, they always come back when their new supply gets boundaries. The drawer was full. It is always full. There are 3 things that never stop in hell: the screaming, the paperwork, and people wanting to reopen relationships that should have stayed buried under a cement slab of self-respect. I leaned back in my chair and stared at the ceiling tile above my desk. It had been stained brown since 2004, which was impressive because nothing in hell has water damage. The stain blinked. I blinked back. In customer service, you learn not to ask questions. You are not emotionally prepared to escalate. My monitor flickered. The case queue refreshed. A sticky note appeared on my desk. I did not write it. It said, reminder, do not call callers consequences with Wi-Fi. Which felt targeted. My headset crackled. Line 2 lit up white. White calls are the worst. Red means rage. Orange means denial. Green means someone is lying and thinks they are being subtle. White means someone is trying to dispute karma. I sighed so hard the desk lamp dimmed. Then I answered. Hell's customer service. Consequences department. If you are calling to dispute karma, please know we already laughed. You believe karma is being unfair to you? Okay, and what specifically happened? Your friend group stopped inviting you places. Your situationship started treating you the way you treated your last situationship. Your coworker took credit for your idea after you took credit for hers, and your hair appointment got canceled. Tragic. Let me open your karmic activity statement. Oh, this is a thick one. Okay, I'm seeing manipulation charges from 2021, passive aggression from 2022, emotional tax evasion in 2023, and in 2024, you told someone, "I'm just being honest," when you were actually being cruel with accessories. Ma'am, karma is not attacking you. Karma is billing you. There is a difference. You signed up for the consequences when you started calling everybody too sensitive while having the emotional stability of a haunted chandelier. No, you cannot speak to a manager. The manager is karma. She heard you. She said no. Now, I do see that you filed a complaint claiming the universe is targeting your happiness. Let's look at that. According to the report, your happiness was built on other people being too exhausted to confront you. That is not happiness. That is unpaid emotional labor with candles. The universe is simply repossessing what you stole from the group chat. No, we do not offer refunds for bad energy. You used it. You wore it outside. You posted quotes about protecting your peace while actively disturbing everyone else's. That voids the warranty. And I am seeing one more thing here. You recently said, "I don't know why drama follows me." Ma'am, drama does not follow you. You keep forwarding at your location. Your karma dispute has been denied. Reason for denial. The pattern has your fingerprints on it. Your recommended next step is self-reflection, but based on your tone, I will also submit a backup request for public embarrassment. Those usually arrive faster. Thank you for calling Hell's customer service. Please remember, if everywhere smells like smoke, check your own little matches. The karma caller hung up before I could offer her a complimentary self-awareness packet. Nobody ever takes the packet. They say they want growth, but the second growth involves accountability. Suddenly everyone has errands. I open my lunch. 3 fries, half a granola bar, and a note from Hell's HR reminding me that sighing aggressively into the headset counts as hostile customer service, which felt unfair. Sighing is the only benefit package we have left. I checked the office camera in the corner. The little red light blinked, then blinked twice, then held still. That usually means management is watching. Management is always watching, not because they care, because suffering has metrics now. Average handle time, repeat caller rate, emotional damage resolution score, damnation satisfaction survey. Last month, I got written up because a caller said I sounded judgmental. I am a demon in customer service. That is the product. The printer made a wet, choking sound. A file slid out, still warm. The folder tab read, "Workplace suffering escalation." Hell's customer service, corporate suffering division. If this is about a coworker who says, "Just circling back, please know we are already on your side spiritually." You are calling because your coworker keeps creating problems, then acting confused when people have feelings. Classic. Let me find the workplace file. Okay. Department, administrative chaos, primary offender, Brenda. Of course her name is Brenda. No offense to all Brendas, but corporate hell has flagged that name 27 times this quarter. You say Brenda sends emails that start with "per my last email." That is not communication. That is a loaded weapon in Outlook. She also says happy to help, but never helps. She schedules meetings that could have been emails. She replies all with nothing to add, and she microwaves fish. Okay, I'm upgrading this to aggravated office haunting. Now, before we continue, I need to confirm something. Have you tried communicating directly? You did. And she said, "I'm sorry you feel that way." Okay, so she chose violence in business casual. Let me process the complaint. Unfortunately, hell cannot remove Brenda from your workplace at this time. No, not because she's innocent, because she is part of your company's culture now, like a mold colony with PTO. However, we can offer 3 available service options. Option 1, silent resentment. This is the most popular package. It includes jaw tension, fake smiles, and typing sounds good with the force of a minor curse. Option 2, strategic documentation. This package includes screenshots, timestamps, and the quiet thrill of having receipts when leadership finally asks what happened. Option 3, becoming the problem. This is not recommended, but it is frequently selected. You asked what I would do. Legally, I have to recommend option 2. Spiritually, I respect option 3. Now, I see here Brenda recently told leadership you were hard to approach, ma'am. That means you have developed boundaries. Congratulations. In hell, we call that a hostile work environment for manipulators. Your complaint has been reviewed. Final ruling. Brenda may remain employed, but her email tone has been forwarded to infernal passive aggression for further investigation. You are authorized to document everything, stop over-explaining, and use as discussed with surgical precision. Thank you for calling Hell's customer service. May your next meeting be canceled 5 minutes before it starts. I closed the workplace complaint and watched the file disappear into the system. Somewhere below my office, a printer screamed. That usually means the paperwork was accepted, or someone in accounting made eye contact with a cursed spreadsheet. Either way, not my department. For a moment, the phone stopped ringing, the monitors dimmed, the vents breathed out warm smoke, and my office settled into that rare, dangerous silence that always makes employees think they're about to get a break. I knew better. Hell does not give breaks. Hell gives you 6 seconds to remember you have a body before the next problem finds your extension. I picked up my coffee. It was cold. The sticky note on my desk changed. It now said, "Great job, only several thousand mistakes left." I stared at it. The note stared back. I whispered, "I hate it here." The filing cabinet clicked open by itself. A new folder slid halfway out. The tab read, "Adulthood refund request." I looked at the folder. I looked at the clock. I looked directly into the security camera so management could see the last piece of joy leave my face. Then the phone rang again. Of course it did, because in hell, the queue never ends. It just learns your name. Thank you for calling Hell's customer service. Your suffering is important to us. A representative will be with you shortly. Unfortunately, it's still me. Subscribe for more processed suffering. Morbidly Yours After Dark. New case files opening soon.